Jammu Kashmir is like a laboratory for BJP. They test the waters here and then they spread their tentacles all over the country. What happened in Shri Mata Vaishno Devi, it's just the tip of the iceberg. If the Muslim majority state, Muslim students don't get a place in their own state, in their own colleges, where are they going to go? If they have to divide us on the basis of religion, what are we doing here? Was Jinnah right? Was Sheikh Abdullah wrong? Was Jawaharlal Nehru wrong? Was Gandhi wrong? Where Kashmir is wrong to align with a Hindu majority India, which they thought it is going to be secular forever and ever and ever.
Has it become a crime to be a Kashmiri Muslim?
I think it has become a crime to be a Muslim in this country, and Kashmiri, it's worse to be a Kashmiri Muslim.
Both the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, and the Home Minister, Amit Shah, promised a Naya Kashmir. What is this Naya Kashmir, Mehbooba Mufti?
People are not allowed to say anything. I mean, if a youth wants to put some thought on the social media, the within an hour the SHO goes and he arrests him. BJP is duping Hindus in the name of Ram Raj, but what exactly they are giving us is Kaurav Raj. Gurmeet Singh, I don't know whether it's his 14th or 15th of his parole. And look at Umar Khalid. The BJP is weaponizing the religion, Hinduism, misinterpreting it like Islam was misinterpreting. The only difference is Ziaul Haq gave them guns, they are giving them swords. Can you imagine? I'm really scared now to go to Delhi. Mehbooba Mufti, whose daughters thought Delhi was their first home and Kashmir was their second home. Mehbooba Mufti, who would say, Indira is India. It's no more, Indira Gandhi or Jawaharlal Nehru or Gandhi ji or Ambedkar. It's Godse who is, dominating the scene.
Hello and welcome to Tipping Point with me, Harinder Baweja. The controversial decision by the National Medical College to withdraw permission to the Vaishno Devi Institute of Medical Excellence to run its MBBS course has disturbing, far reaching consequences. Why is education being communalized? Why did a regulatory body surrender to fundamentalist forces who protested in the name of religion? Why is the fragile peace in Jammu and Kashmir being disturbed? To answer this and more, I'm joined by Mehbooba Mufti, the former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir, who also heads the People's Democratic Party. Welcome, Mehbooba ji, and thank you for speaking to the Quint. Let's start by calling a spade a spade. The permission was withdrawn because the BJP and its affiliate organizations protested about 46 of the 50 candidates being Kashmiri Muslims. They got admissions based on merit, but were punished on account of their religion. This is so unfair, isn't it?
I mean, I have been saying it again and again. Jammu Kashmir is like a laboratory for BJP. They test the waters here and then they spread their tentacles all over the country. What happened in Shri Mata Vaishno Devi, it's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, can you imagine? There is a clamor for separate statehood for Jammu now. What I mean, if the Muslim majority state, Muslim students don't get a place in their own state, in their own colleges, where are they going to go? You have seen what is happening to them in other parts of the country, how they are being beaten up, they are harassed, and they are, abused and whatnot. So if you don't have a place even in Mata Vaishno Devi College for the Kashmiri Muslim students, you can well imagine in its consequences. I mean, what happened in 2019? The state was, the 370 was scrapped. The state was dismembered. It was, degraded. But there was a glee all over the country. People celebrated it. Similarly, this de-recognition of the medical college, Mata Vaishno Devi Medical, it has been celebrated in Jammu mostly by the BJP people. So this is a laboratory, and my apprehension is that it will be repeated all over the country. It's like a dog whistle. Okay, BJP people, you come on the streets, Bajrang Dal people, you come on the streets, wherever there are Muslim Kashmiri students, and you ask for them to pack their bags and go back. So what do we do then?
I mean, on the face of it, the National Medical Council says it conducted a, inspection and found the institute to lack the facilities required.
Such a
But
coincidence, such a coincidence. The BJP people, the Bajrang Dal people, they come on the streets because very highly qualified Kashmiri Muslims got 42 out of 50 seats in Mata Vaishno Devi College, and then they say, they need to be taken out of the college. And unfortunately, our own chief minister, a day before the order was passed, he said, let them shut the college. We'll take our own students. In a way, he normalized the whole thing, which is very bad. It's not about one medical college now. I told you they are going to replicate it anywhere. It's a dog whistle.
was the chief minister's statement made more out of frustration? Because then he also said that, other states fight to get medical colleges, but Jammu and Kashmir is perhaps the only region where such colleges are being shut down.
No, it's too much of a coincidence that he said something like this, let them shut the college, medical college. How can a responsible chief minister say something like this? I mean, you just can't cut your nose to spite your face. It's like that. So I think there, maybe he had already heard about it. Maybe they must have talked to him or whatever. I don't know. But it was very irresponsible on his part to say so because he has given them a kind of a lifeline. Okay, it's okay. You have done it. Well and good. We'll take the students. I mean, how many students are you going to take in the medical college in J&K? It's going to be next year, then next year. That means, they are closing the space for the Kashmiri Muslim youth like this, it can be repeated in the whole country, what's happening, and then to celebrate it. Like 370 scrapping was celebrated all over the country. Like, that Ali Muddin, who was lynched to death in Jharkhand, then Jen Sinha went and he garlanded that is what is happening. Everything is being, religion is being weaponized against Muslims. And it happened, unfortunately, it happened in Pakistan during Ziaul Haq's time, and he, in a way, what he did, he tried to misuse the religion, misuse even, misinterpret even Quran, Islam. That's what BJP is doing at this point of time. Hanuman Chaliswa, Jai Shri Ram, all these, slogans, they are being weaponized against Muslims. And this is what happened in, Shri Mata Vaishno Devi Medical College is just an example of what is happening in the country, and it is going to be replicated. That's my fear. I hope I am proved wrong, that other places also, these Jansangi people, these RSS people, BJP walas will come out on the streets and demand similar kinds of things. You know.
I mean, the BJP is getting away by saying quality over quantity.
Mhm.
I don't even know what that means, but that's a very slippery slope. It's dangerous.
Of course, I mean, it took them 1 year, and BJP protests on the streets to think about it. I mean, how can you be so harsh, de-recognizing a medical college? And Shri Mata Vaishno Devi it's a prestigious institution. It is being, lauded by people, it is being appreciated all over the country. Just because Muslims got admission there, this is the result. I mean, this is very unfortunate. And I think it's not only the BJP which is to be blamed, it's also the leadership of the country now. Because when 370 was scrapped, everybody celebrated, and our leadership, opposition leaders, they did not talk much about it. When three ex-chief ministers were put under house arrest, hardly anybody talked about it. When there have been ED raids, NIA raids, CBI raids every day in Kashmir are conducted. Now it is happening all over the country. And you did not, you clapped when we were going through. Now, everybody is watching helplessly. So Kashmir is being replicated everywhere, the what is being done to Kashmir since 2019, it is being replicated. And unfortunately, the Muslims are the worst sufferers. They want to
Let
deprive. I think somehow they feel Kashmiri youth, they are very intelligent. They have a higher IQ, let me tell you that, as compared to other places. And as far as Muslims in the country, they have already been deprived of the scholarships. Madrasas have been closed, colleges, Jamia Millia College, or a place like secular place like JNU, it's being squeezed. Aligarh Muslim University, it's always in the controversy. So now there were, more emancipated, more intelligent people from Jammu Kashmir youth, Muslim majority. Because in the rest of the country, Muslims are economically so weak they can hardly afford to go for education. But they want to deprive even Kashmiri Muslims of whatever they have, and it will have consequences because, as I said earlier, also there is a clamor for a separate state for Jammu. And every Kashmiri will ask, why did we align with India? We were a Muslim majority state. If they have to divide us on the basis of religion, what are we doing here? Was Jinnah right? Was Sheikh Abdullah wrong? Was Jawaharlal Nehru wrong? Was Gandhi wrong? Were Kashmiris wrong to align with a Hindu majority India, which they thought it is going to be secular forever and ever and ever? And this will have, very, very far-reaching consequences.
I can hear the pain in your voice, Mehbooba Mufti. Can I ask you a direct question? Has it become a crime to be a Kashmiri Muslim?
I think it has become a crime to be a Muslim in this country, and Kashmiri, it's worse to be a Kashmiri Muslim. It is very bad to be a Muslim because you have seen, how lynching has been normalized. Now we don't even hear. Yesterday, someone was lynched again, I think Jharkhand, and nobody's talking about it anymore. Lynching has been normalized. Demolition of Muslim homes has been normalized. Mosques demolition has been normalized. And now, everything is being normalized. Now their voter names from the voter lists are being deleted. Muslims calling them Bangladeshis. So everything is being normalized to make Muslims second class citizens, and then Kashmiris have, more to pay for than as compared to the rest of, because the rest of the Muslims, they have never been involved in any kind of activity which is seen to be anti-national. But Kashmir, there have been forces, there have been an opinion which have a different kind of thought process, different kind of idea. So it's a very, very complex situation now.
See, one of the disturbing consequences of the decision taken by the National Medical Council is that you already had, a divide between the two regions of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, that fault line will fester even more, and the trust deficit will go up hugely.
Yeah, obviously, absolutely, because when 370 was scrapped, people in Jammu, many of them celebrated. Even Ladakhi celebrated, who are now in a very bad state of position. But when this medical college was de-recognized, many people in Jammu, especially BJP people, they celebrated. So Kashmiris feel hurt. Why should they celebrate that just because 42 Muslim boys have been deprived or the girls have been deprived of their medical future? So this is adding fuel to the fire. But Jammu people should remember that the Darbar move was cancelled for last so many years, and they had to suffer economically too many losses. So if they feel that getting away from Kashmir and having their own statehood, having their medical colleges in the name of minority where only Hindus can study, I don't think it's really going to work the way they are thinking. It's going to be have very economically also very a bad impact on Jammu, which they will see in future. I mean, after all, Jammu and Kashmir, it's a one thing. We are together, and if this thing happens, it's going to be very sad, and it's going to drift us more apart. There are so many things that should bring us together, but it's they are adding, the BJP are doing things so that we are torn apart, not even, walk away apart. We are torn apart from each other.
This latest controversy actually reminded me of the Kathua case, where a minor girl was gang raped, held
Yeah,
hostage, and
killed.
finally killed. The reason
Yeah.
bringing this in is because you were the chief minister at the time and you were sharing power with the BJP. Now, what happened then? The BJP ministers protested, not seeking justice for the girl, but they were on the side of the accused. I remember it was a struggle for you then to get these ministers sacked. I mean, you know the mind of the BJP better
But
than
I
anyone
got them.
else.
but I got them sacked. That's what they say. What happens in JNK is repeated. You see, Gurmeet Singh. You heard Kuldeep, singer. You heard what happened to the rapists of Bilkis Bano, how they were garlanded. So it's not only now this, Uttarakhand girl, Ankita Bandari, how they had to come on streets to get justice. So I mean, I feel that BJP is duping Hindus in the name of Ram Raj, but what exactly they are giving us is Kaurav Raj, where women were disrobed, where women were disrespected, and they are the worst I mean a thing that can happen to a woman is being raped and then see your rapist moving around. That's, I mean, Gurmeet Singh, I don't know whether it's his 14th or 15th of his parole. And look at Umar Khalid. I mean, the contrast is there for everybody to see. But if Hindus feel that this is a kind of Ram Raj where they are going to be very happy, it's going to be very nice, let me repeat it again. It is not going to be Ram Raj, it's going to be Kaurav Raj, where there is the what was his name, the name of the king? Rashtra. He has a putty on his eyes, and everything, murder, rape, everything is going to go on. Maybe it's starting with Muslims, lynching of Muslims, demolition of their homes, but ultimately it's going to reach the door of every Dalit, and then Christians are already being victimized. So it's a very, very sad state of affair, because I mean, the India I know, the India I grew up. My father knew India. I mean, for what we fought, the idea of India that we fought in Kashmir, all these years against so many powers, we lost so many of our workers just to save the idea of India. It is unfortunately dying, and somewhere God says India is coming up like a phoenix.
Have you reached out to anybody in Delhi to discuss, what you're telling us in this interview? All very important points. Have you reached out to anybody in the corridors of power to point to the dangers of what is playing out on the ground?
Well, I don't think there seems to be anybody who is interested in listening to it, because somehow, unfortunately, whatever bad is happening in the country, whatever is happening in JNK, even the that suicide blast that took place at Red Fort, somehow it suits the narrative of BJP. And earlier there were parties, Congress, who had fought for the independence of the Kashmir. So they loved the country. They had their own, vices. They had their own, drawbacks. But they had some love for the country. But today I feel BJP is only thinking about winning elections and being in power. And that's why whatever suits them, even if Kashmiris become suicide bombers and they, create havoc all over the country, it suits them, because they are able to demonize more Muslims, especially Kashmiris. So who is there with whom I can talk and tell them, see, what you are doing in Kashmir is bad. Surveillance, raids everywhere, people being caught, passports being denied. Um, I mean, it is so suffocating. And to add to that, now you are, closing an institution where 42 Muslim boys, including some non-Muslims, some Sikhs they had such, great hopes about their future. You have finally closed that college, and what were they thinking about?
Allow me to ask you this because I know that, I mean, I don't know how often, but you do sometimes speak with the National Security Advisor, Mr. Ajit Kumar Doval. Have you brought all this to his attention? If I were to ask you to give me a reading of Delhi's mind, how would you put it?
Well, first of all, let me tell you, I don't know whether I'm supposed to tell you. I think somehow Mr. Dole has been asked to keep out of J&K by the Home Minister.
Are you sure about this?
I think so. I think so. I think so. I mean, I may be crossing my limit, but I think so, because we haven't seen much of Mr. Dole after Amit Shah Saab became the Home Minister. And I think that somehow, the whole thing is run from the Home Ministry. Even I mean, a small thing from giving a passport to closing down this medical college. I think everything is being decided by the Home Ministry, and I don't know whether Amit Shah ji is interested in thinking about the long results, consequences of these actions, or they just want to think that they are planning to be there for at least 50 years, BJP government, and that's where this kind of polarization, this kind of weaponization of religion suits them. I mean, you see what happened in Pakistan. What did Ziaul Haq do? He weaponized religion, and even today, Pakistan is not able to come to terms. I mean, their economy was better at that point of time. They were much ahead as compared to many of the neighboring countries. Maybe even their GDP was much better than us at that point of time. But see what they did to that country. And today, similarly, the BJP is weaponizing the religion, Hinduism, misinterpreting it like Islam was misinterpreting and giving. The only difference is Ziaul Haq gave them guns, they are giving them swords. So you have seen how people are going around with swords, in our country now, and in a way, directly asking them to go and kill Muslims. So I think Pakistan is a very small country, but our country is so big, so huge. It has such a history of diversity. The consequences here will be much worse than what we have seen in Pakistan.
Do you not feel the need to pick up the phone and talk to the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah?
What do I talk to him? I mean,
Tell him what you're
w-
telling me and us through this interview.
because when we had that all party meet, if you remember, somebody from America had to come. And now I feel, it was just to show him because whatever we discussed at that point of time, we had made certain recommendations like, releasing some of the under trials against whom there were not serious cases or shifting them to Kashmir. Nothing really happened. So I don't think, I had told them that, my father aligned with BJP thinking that it was a nationalist party. It will sacrifice many things for the national interest, but you have sacrificed Kashmir for your voter politics. I told them that. I mean, I was very frank about it. And nothing happened after that. And so today also, I feel they have very short-sighted policy as far as Jammu Kashmir is concerned, as long as it serves their narrative, as long as it serves them to polarize further the country on religious grounds, it's okay because I'm apprehensive the day they wake up. It may be too late. It may be too late. I mean, people here in Kashmir, they are scared. There is fear around. But someday the pressure cooker is going to blow up in our face, as we have seen what happened in Pahalgam, as we've seen what happened in Red Fort. A doctor. I mean, imagine a doctor from a poor family becoming a doctor and then blowing up himself and many innocent people with him. So what is this? This is suffocation. This is frustration. So I wish, this good sense would prevail upon them and then they would discuss. They should have an all-party meet, call all the leadership from rest of the country, from Jammu Kashmir, and tell them and talk to them and listen to them. And I mean, they can have power all the time because they have had so many. The SIR is there, EVMs are there, election commission is there. They can stay in power as long as they want, as long the media is on their side, election commission is on their side, judiciary is on their side. They have infiltrated all the institutions, but let them spare Jammu and Kashmir. Let them not destroy, because if they destroy Jammu and Kashmir, it has consequences for the whole this South Asia, for the whole region.
You referred to your father, Mufti Mohammed Said, joining hands with the BJP, and I remember at the time I had interviewed him as well. He said he acknowledged that, it was an alliance between North Pole and South Pole.
South Pole.
Yes, but he said that he was doing it in the interest of bridging the gap between Jammu and Kashmir. I'm afraid that has only grown in the last decade and more.
No, see, basically, it was to bridge the gap and also to protect Jammu Kashmir from the wrath of BJP. You see, till the government was there, they were not able to touch 370, 35A or do what they are doing now, because there was a lot of pressure on me, to do things certain ways. But they had to send a delegation to Kashmir for talks, if you remember, in 2016-17. Even Arun Jaitley was there. And then there was ceasefire. Then I had, withdrawn the FIRs for 12,000 youth, when the stone pelting was at the peak. So we were able to kind of implement our own agenda, and BJP was, they were cooperating. But unfortunately, after the government fell, they did whatever they wanted to do, and my father's purpose was to keep their hands tied by joining with them, not to let their hands go free. And that's what he was succeeded till the government was there. But after that, whatever they wanted to do, they have done it, which is very sad. Because as I said earlier, my father would think that it is a very, patriotic, very nationalist party, because he had worked with Vajpayee ji. He thought that Vajpayee ji went, you know he went ahead with, this insaniyat, jamhuriyat, and dialogue with Pakistan. He walked a mile, and things changed for Jammu and Kashmir. Even today, people remember Vajpayee ji, and they remember my father very fondly. That for the first time, we saw we could live with dignity, and there was a dialogue going on. Nobody thinks that Vajpayee ji would have given Kashmir to Pakistan on a platter. No. But he was trying to give dignity to Kashmir and also keep Pakistan involved in the peace process, which is totally dead now at this point of time.
You referred to the abrogation of Article 370, which of course was put on the back burner during the alliance, but then in 2019 we saw the article being scrapped. At the time, both the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, and the Home Minister, Amit Shah, promised a Naya Kashmir. What is a Naya Kashmir that you see? Is there a Naya Kashmir? Because bloodshed hasn't stopped. The communal divide has widened. What is this Naya Kashmir, Mehbooba Mufti?
Well, they had also said that they are going to, take away the stones from the youth and put laptops in their hands.
Right.
We have seen a doctor tying an ID around his body and blowing himself up. We see every day there are dozens of raids being conducted in Kashmir. If you open the newspaper, it's CIA, NIA, CBI, I don't know, CIK, so many agencies, central government agencies, that raid our, the premises of people every day. People are not allowed to say anything. I mean, if a youth wants to put some thought on the social media, the within an hour, the SHO goes and he arrests him. We have people who are languishing in jails under trials, whose trial has not even started. 5, 6 years have passed. People are scared to talk. I mean, I remember once, in Vajpayee's time, when my father was chief minister, Sapma, that South Asian journalist from Pakistan, they visited Kashmir and they went to university. And university, the youth came out and they started, raising slogans. TV was there, police was there. Nobody touched them. They went into their classes and everything became normal. When those Sapma journalists were invited, Pakistani journalists were invited for dinner with my father, they said, Mufti Saab, ये हिंदुस्तान की डेमोक्रेसी है. अरे वो तो वहां बड़े नारे लगा रहे थे पर पुलिस ने कुछ नहीं किया और टीवी भी था वहां पर. तो ये जमहूरियत है, हिंदुस्तान में ऐसा होता है, कश्मीर में ऐसा होता है. एंड व्हेन दे वेंट बैक दे टोल्ड मुशर्रफ, दे सेड व्हाट वी हियर in Pakistan is not a true situation. Situation is different. But today the things are totally different. There is no democracy. There is no freedom of expression. It's sad. It's sad. I mean, you need to reach out to your people. You can put a person in jail, but you can't jail an idea. And whatever is separatism is an idea. You have to address it, as my father tried to do it during his tenure. I mean, things, militancy had gone down. People were happy. There was a change in the atmosphere. But unfortunately, today I feel, which again repeat, that it suits BJP, whatever is happening in Kashmir, whatever bad is happening in Kashmir, they want to tell the Indians that we are dealing Kashmir with an iron fist. But it's not working.
The Home Ministry believes, though, that the number of stone pelting incidents have dropped to
Hmm.
almost nil, that
Mm,
the number of Kashmiri youth joining the ranks of militancy is also
mm,
down. So they
mm.
believe that the ground situation is better.
Well, if you, kind of, it's like shut somebody's mouth and tell him that his cough is gone. You know, if somebody is suffering from some kind of cough, some kind of cold, and you just put a hand on his mouth and don't allow him to cough, you say, "Oh, he is fine." Is that true? Is that okay? No, that's what is happening in Kashmir. Kashmir is under You 24/7 surveillance, you can't talk. Even if my party tomorrow says we want to protest peacefully against, the power tariff, growing poverty or unemployment. No, you will not be allowed to do that. So what kind of, peace is this, which can be disturbed by 100 people or 200 people coming on the streets and protesting peacefully for some very normal thing, because they are so scared that this protest may change into something bigger. So in their heart of hearts, they know what's happening in Kashmir. They know they have put a lid on the pressure cooker. It can blow anytime, but they are not bothered about its blow up, because they are going to use that also for their, to garner more votes in the country. It
You
helps them,
are,
which is very unfortunate.
you are a former chief minister of Jammu and Kashmir. In fact, the last chief minister before, you know,
Hmm.
converted
Yeah.
into a union territory. Uh, you're telling me that even your freedoms are curtailed, that you feel like a prisoner in your own home?
I will tell you the latest thing. Some of these students had decided that they are going to protest peacefully against this reservation for rationalization of reservation. Me, along with Iltija, were put under house arrest. Then I had to call so many people and tell them, look here, I'm not participating in the protest. I'm going to Anantnag for a different, program. But even then, Iltija was not allowed to come out.
Your
I
daughter.
mean, can you imagine? How does it matter if, 100 or 200 or 400, 500 students gather at some place and they demand rationalization of reservation? So this is the kind of fragile, peace that we have in JNK, which is seen to be, it can be disturbed by a very peaceful protest of 100 people.
So you're not allowed to protest, you're not allowed to dissent. The Mirwais was recently forced to change his bio on
Yeah, I know.
and remove, you know, Chairman Hurit conference from
I
it.
know.
Uh, do you sometimes feel like, you're living in this beautiful open air prison?
Jail,
Uh,
open air prison. Yeah, yeah. When Mirwais was asked to do that, or they said he did that, I said, Hurriyat or separatism is not a person; it's an idea. You need to address the idea. He has removed that name from his social media platform, but how does that how does that kill the idea that is there? Because the idea is still there, and we need to address that idea with a better idea. That's what my father said when he talked about self-rule. We need to throw Jammu Kashmir open to the outside world, make Jammu Kashmir a gateway to Central Asia, as there was that Silk Route was there, so that people are able to interact with the world outside. Take army back to the barracks, so that people can breathe easy. That's why he was able to, at in during his time, we were able to uh, close many of the army camps, shipped them back to the barracks, whether it was Anantnag High Ground or many other places. And that had shown us the results. People were more, they were happier. They were the distance between rest of the country and people of JNK. It was, it was coming. They were coming closer, because that is the purpose that people need to, we are living in India, but we should be happy about it, not fighting it all the time, not fighting it all the time, and being angry about it. And that's where they need to address the elephant in the room, which they are not doing, but they will have to do it at a point of time.
has the meaning and essence of the idea of India changed for you?
Oh my God, I just can't tell you, I mean, can you imagine? I'm really scared now to go to Delhi, because I go to Khanwa, I go to Shankar Market to shop this cotton things, and I sometimes feel, they can recognize me. What's going to happen to me? And Mehbooba Mufti, whose daughters thought Delhi was their first home and Kashmir was their second home. Mehbooba Mufti, who would say, Indira is India. That's when I was young. I said, this is India. Whenever she used to come to her home, I would say India. So today, it's. with passage of time, it's Godse who is becoming the face of India. It's no more, Indira Gandhi or Jawaharlal Nehru or Gandhi ji or Ambedkar. It's Godse who is, dominating the scene. And it really breaks my heart. And at times, I miss my dad a lot. But then sometimes my sisters tell me, Mehbooba, don't you think it's good that he's not here? Because he was Indian by conviction, by heart, because his eyes would, shine when we would talk about India. It would have broken his heart, what's happening in the rest of the country at this point of time. So, it really disturbs me. I mean, it's weighing on my heart all the time. You can't, I don't know whether you'll believe me or not, but whatever is happening in the country, it is pulling me down. It weighs on my heart. I feel, I have got some kind of disease which I am not able to get rid of because it's there on the all the time you're thinking, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? It's not only about I'm bothered about JNK, I'm bothered about the whole India because we had aligned with the India, a beautiful India, where even now Muslims, make most of the ideals of, Hindu deities. They do it. Then Hindus pray. But that is being, the whole atmosphere is being vitiated. When Iltija is in Delhi, I'm so scared for her. Because I tell her, don't get down out of the car, in any lonely street. Because if somebody knows she is Muslim, then she is Kashmiri, then she is my daughter, I don't know what's going to happen. And this is something I never ever thought is going to happen in India, in our country.
That is a psychological dimension of what has been happening in Kashmir over many years and decades, in
Yeah.
fact.
And that's what I say, everything that's happening in Kashmir is being now replicated now in the rest of the country. I mean, like what happened to Kashmiri Pandits, it is something that we Kashmiris even still we feel ashamed of it. It should not have happened. And we also suffered with that, what happened to my family, how many people got killed and what all happened. And every Kashmiri suffered. But in rest of the country, the way they are treating Muslims, the way they are treating Kashmiris, they are not only repeating what happened to Kashmiri Pandits, but they are doing it. They are going. It's getting worse because about everybody talked about Kashmiri Pandits, their tragedy, but nobody is talking about the tragedy that Kashmiri Muslims or the Muslims of the country are facing at because there is no media who is ready to stick their neck. Of course, there are so few exceptions like Quint and Wire and others. Otherwise, nobody dares to talk about it, and it really breaks your heart. And Kashmir, where Indiraji was unseated by Allahabad High Court. Today you have, I don't want to name the courts, the kind of judgments that are coming. I mean, what is there left? We have a madman ruling America, but at least they have the institutions. They have the checks and balances. But here we don't have any checks and balances anymore. It really worries me. It really worries me.
I mean, speaking again of Jammu and Kashmir, I mean, you referred to the all party meeting in which the Prime Minister talked about reducing, you know,
Delhi and Dil ki Duri.
correct.
Yeah.
But there is no political outreach. There is no sign of that, of reducing that duri. There is no sign even of statehood. So, where is Jammu and Kashmir headed, Mehbooba Mufti?
You see where it is headed. You see what happened at Red Fort. You see what is happening every day. You see how our people are languishing in jails without any trials. You see how every day there are raids are happening. That's how they feel they can keep Jammu Kashmir under control because they are not bothered about taking care of Jammu and Kashmir. They are bothered more about how to control it. And for that, they have the agencies, they have the surveillance, they have the jails, they have everything except empathy for the people of J&K. Even Jammu people, if they are being foolish enough that, BJP party or the government of India allows Jammu more, no, 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 nothing of the sort. Where it comes to, their power politics, they can sacrifice anybody. And you have seen what is happening in Ladakh, how, unhappy those people are now. Even Jammu people are very unhappy, but since, they try to communalize things, vitiate the atmosphere, then people get polarized. Otherwise, Jammu has suffered, I think, at times worse than what Kashmir suffered economically. They are taking away everything. I mean, can you imagine getting a railway line inside the valley to taking it to Pahalgam, taking it to Shopian, taking it to other places when you already have roads, bypasses, and thus destroying thousands of acres of orchards? What does Kashmiri have? No government jobs. We have orchards, we have tourism. Tourism was hit badly after Pahalgam, and I have heard after that the government of India has stopped promoting Kashmir. Rather than they have started telling them don't promote Kashmir. Now we have this horticulture. New Zealand apple coming at without any on free trade agreement. Then they are going to enter into free trade agreement with, I think, with Chile, with Europe and America. What's going to happen to our horticulture? And to top it all, they are going to take the railway line through our orchards. So you can see how they are also, disempowering us economically also. I mean, they are using all means, which is very sad. Jammu Kashmir is a mini India. It's a beautiful place. The people have, of their own will, decided in 47 they have rejected Pakistan. They drove out the Kabilis from Pakistan and welcomed the Indian forces at that point of time. Now, there is a there is an opinion, there is a feeling among certain people that that decision was wrong, but majority of the people you can't punish, you can't give collective punishment to people of J&K just because some people want a reversal to their, whatever they have there. So it is something
And
which
they
is very sad.
protested after the terror attack in Pahalgam also. I mean, we saw
Yeah, I was
Tanaq
the one who
protesters.
started. I started the protest. I went. That was the first time they allowed me to go to Lal Chowk. That was the only first and the last time they allowed me to go to the Lal Chowk. We had tried to protest against the, genocide in Gaza. They did not allow me to come out of the gate. We had tried to, protest against to return these under trials to Kashmir. They don't allow you, but I mean, they are scared of everything. They're scared of everything. Unfortunately, media has been captivated. It has been captured. And that is the worst thing that can happen to any democratic country like ours, because nothing is coming out. The media is playing the narrative that BJP wants. I think it's still high time. If we, I don't know whether we have what they say. They say, there are, what state? There is what state? There is always a state agencies there are who, um, what do you call that state? Who kind of monitor who monitor, deep state, sorry, deep state. There's always a deep state who monitor the political parties, the prime minister, everybody, and think largely about the national interest. I don't know whether we have them or they too have been infiltrated by RSS and BJP. Because if we had them, then they would think what is happening in Kashmir, what's happening in the rest of the country. We need to do something about it. And then there would have been a dialogue. Maybe they would have forced the BJP leadership to have a dialogue, throughout, with the people of J&K, all opinions, all shades of opinion. But I don't think the deep state is there anymore. Do you think it's there?
You're
who,
painting a
who
picture
thinks of the
of
country, who are very patriotic, whose job is only to think about the country and its interest rather than who is in power and who is not in power.
You've painted a picture of, total despair and desperation, including personal, desperation about what it's like to be uh, a Kashmiri Muslim, even though you have been, you occupied the highest seat of power in the state. Today, we've reached a stage where faith has overtaken merit, and brought Jammu and Kashmir to another precipice. So, is this what we're going to see happen now? Is that the new norm? I mean, I really do want to end the interview by asking you: do you see any optimism, any hope, Mehbooba ji?
Well, I'm a daughter of Mufti Muhammad Said, who always, he was always hopeful. He was always hopeful. He would never give up on hope. I don't give up on hope. But my only worry is that, it's not only about Jammu and Kashmir now. The whole country is in a mess. Everything has been normalized, from lynching to demolition to, beating Kashmiri shawlwalas. And to top it all, instead of, taking the country forward, I mean, I have a apprehension that the time is going to come very soon when in medical colleges they are going to teach them that, it is better to have cow urine and cow dung to cure diseases rather than any scientific way, because that's what they have been promoting now. You
Uh,
must be knowing that they are having research on cow dung. Do you know that?
I'm aware of that.
Research is going on. That's what they're taking us, because they don't want literate people. They want illiterate people, because if there is a Umar Khalid or there is a Kanaya Kumar or anybody from JNU, they will question them. But they don't want. They want to take people backward beyond Mughal era, because Mughal era was a golden period. All the things that you see today, whether it is, the designs or the buildings, even the Red Fort, everything is belonged the Mughal area. Mughal era was built during Mughal era. So they are going to take us back to, Kaurav Pandav Raj, not Mahabharata, where, they could have. I mean, it's very very sad. I mean, they are using name of Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram Bolo. They are misusing his name. And Jai Shri Ram, I have heard from my, great grandfather. He had read about him that he was a very, very noble soul. And today they are using that. They are using Hanuman Chaliswa. They are using Bharat Mata Ki Jai to demonize Muslims. They are using it as a weapon, and at the same time they are degrading the very slogan, which is very sad. That's why I said they may ask people, as they did during the COVID. Many people started applying cow dung, and that's why they got those, I think they had got this. Many people were facing problems because they used to use the leap of cow dung, and I think they are taking them towards, cow urine, and which is very sad. I mean, a country like India, where ISRO was built by Jawaharlal Nehru, and people are going beyond moon. And where are we going? We are going towards backwards. कि हमारा ये करते थे हम, फिर गाय का जो है उसका ये पीने से आप ठीक हो जाओगे. This is what BJP is about. This is what BJP is about Kaumutra cow dung. I'm sorry to say that. This is what they have brought the country to, you know.
Before I end, and thank you for your time, Mehbooba Mufti, what are the voices that you're picking up from the ground when you talk to ordinary Kashmiris around you? I mean, they share your despair.
Well, we have organized these meetings with locals, like what we call Kathbat or Galbat in Jammu. And we gave a platform to people, not our party people, people outside, where youth, that's what I'm saying. There were certain cases where your cousin had left home 6 years back, but this family was being harassed till date, where your father was a militant for a year and the boy was born after he was he was jailed and then left, he was freed, and he was not getting a passport. How people were being, they're under constant surveillance. How, very poor people. Sisters came to me. They said their only brother is in jail somewhere in Haryana. They can't go even to meet him. How are they going to meet his expenses? So all these problems are there. People are too scared even to come to me at times. And that's why we have been organizing these, discussions where people, to certain extent, they are able to talk, not much, because they are again too scared. Pata nahi kaun sa CID wala will be, recording us, and then we'll have to face the music. But this is why I'm getting, but honestly speaking, I listened to some very young boys, a school boy, a college boy. Then I feel Kashmiris have so much, energy. They have so much hope that this too will pass, because I told them that we have been drowned in water, but our head is up. So we need to hold our head till this water, goes down, it subsides, and this too will pass. And I'm sure this too will pass, because after all, There is always a day after night. So I think this will pass, inshallah.
May you continue to hold your head over water.
Yeah, that's what we are doing.
I thank you for your time. Thank you for speaking to the Quint.
Thank you so much.